So I have to ask you about, I saw that Allison, Schmitt, and Michael Phelps were in Congress last week talking about drug testing and some Chinese swimmers testing positive for a performance-enhancing drug called, I think, TMZ without any repercussions. Like, how does that figure into this sort of sport integrity and how much, everybody can trust that this year's results are going to be fair?
Yeah, it's maddening to all of us, as you can imagine, to think that athletes could be going to Paris without the confidence that they're competing on a level playing field. And so we have to work hard, not just in the United States, but across the world, to improve a system that is in place, but is not operating, I would say, at full capacity. And we're talking about 206 different countries, all of whom are supposed to live up to the same standards. And so it's a difficult proposition.
There's a certain amount of trust, I guess, that it becomes part of it because you can't safeguard everything. You can't test for everything.
Well, you just used the big word, the big word of the day, maybe the big word of the decade, trust. Right. And to what degree do we and can we trust? And who is it that we're relying on to trust? We're incredibly fortunate in the United States. We have an exceptional anti-doping system, and athletes in this country are held to an extraordinarily high standard. And we do have violations. It happens. It happens in the United States and it happens in other places. The trick is to have a system that catches the bad actors and weeds them out of the system and doesn't let them play. And that's what we have to all count on.
As you were talking about the issue of trust, it made me think, like, what do you think this year's games mean for the United States, given where the brand of America is, like globally and domestically right now? Because the Olympics has an impact beyond just the athletes and the competition.
Yeah, it really does. And, I'm not sure I fully appreciated that 6 years ago when I took this role. It is in many ways, it's kind of a microcosm of a much bigger and broader geopolitical environment. And so we have to be conscious of all of that and celebrate the things that we should celebrate and be conscious and respectful of the places where we need to be a bit more humble, and we need to recognize where leadership is required, but how to do it in a way that brings others along.